Beautiful souls. I want to do a quick read. Um, whew, I want to talk about something that occurred in 2023. Okay. Um, this video is for entertainment purposes. Okay. Give me a minute, please. Okay, before I start this video, psychically, I'm hearing Lord have mercy. Okay, Lord have mercy. Okay. Before I get into this read, I want to give a moment of silence. Hold on. For these children, okay? I keep hearing Lord have mercy, okay? I want to give a moment of silence to these children, and I want to explain what children I'm talking about, okay? I call on all my ancestors. Surround me in a circle right now. Give me true discernment. True discernment. Speak through me, ancestors. Put a circle around me. I'm calling on the ancestors of all these children that are deceased in this fire. Put a circle around my ancestors. Show me what I need to see. Give me true discernment at this time. Okay. I have holy water right here. Holy water. Okay. Holy. Holy water. And I keep hearing Lord have mercy. Okay. I have my ancestors surrounding me, and I have the ancestors of these children surrounding my ancestors. Okay. Now, today will mark a 2-year anniversary. Okay. Um, Now, this took place in Guyana. Okay. And I have to do it before 12 o'clock. Okay. Um, so let's get into this real quick. Okay. And I'm going to pull 3 cards. That's it. Just give me 3 cards. 3 cards. This video is for entertainment purposes. And rest these children's soul. Okay. On May 21st, 2 years from today. On May 21st of 2023, a fire broke out in a secondary school. I hope I'm saying this right, okay? Dormitory in Mahdi, Portal, Guyana, Sipara, Guyana, killing at least 20 people. The fire was among the deadliest involving school dormitories in the last 30 years. The location of this fire was Mahdi, Portal, Spatorna, Guyana. What happened was fire. Now they say the cause was arson. Okay. Deaths were 20 people that died. Non-fatal injuries. I don't know. It says 29/9 serious. So I'm confused here. So 29 non-fatal injuries and 20 deaths. Okay. The rest was one person. So this was an arson. Arson means somebody started this fire. Okay. Lit the fire. Okay. Let me give you a little bit of background, and I want to pull 3 cards on this. It's a secondary school in the gold mining town. This is a gold mining town. Okay. Storm, don't you start. Don't you start. He was sleeping. Okay, this happened in the gold mining town. Okay, gold mining town. So they mine for gold in this town. Okay. Now I don't know where the location of this town is. It's showing the latitude, longitude. I feel like this town is close to Venezuela. Okay, this is what I'm getting psychically. Okay. Now this school, the school serves students between the ages of 12 to 18. 59 girls usually live in the dormitory where the fire happened, but 3 of them were at home when the fire broke out. The majority of alumni are Aryan descent. Okay. I don't know what that is. So I'm guessing they're more native. Okay. To Guyana. So they're the original people of Guyana. If anybody on here from Guyana, let me know. A press release from American Peoples Associated stated some of the students came from indigenous communities. Yes, thank you. Come through. Come through, ancestors. They're here. So the school burnt down in Guyana. The facility is a boarding school. The school was interested to the Guyanese government. Interest to the Guyanese government. Okay. Having constructed the school to bridge the gaps between the indigenous and the coastal areas. Okay. The dorms were constructed out of concrete and wood, 5 doors and grill windows. The dormitory 5 doors were locked to keep students from sneaking out at night. Come through. On May 21st of 2023, a fire ignited at a female dormitory minutes before midnight local time. Let me tell you guys something. When the clock hits midnight, if you know anything about the spiritual, okay, nothing good happens after midnight. Okay, people start their rituals at midnight. Okay, all night. Okay, so I need 3 cards on this. Okay, so the students were set. Okay, so minutes before midnight. Okay, so minutes before midnight local time. So this is midnight at night. Okay, not noon midnight. Okay, I don't know. Is this midnight at midnight or midnight in the afternoon? Okay. The students who set the fire sprayed a substance into the air, then ignited it. The fire quickly traveled to mattresses just outside the bathroom. The fire was made worse by the fact that the dorm administrator was unable to locate her keys. How could she not locate her keys? Okay. Due to the state of panic. So she panicked. Firefighters rescued about 20 students by breaking holes through one of the walls. So did one of these students set this on fire? Heavy thunderstorms made it more difficult for the fight the fire from the air and to fly injured children to other areas for treatment. The fire burned for 3 hours before it was controlled. 3 hours, midnight. Victims. The initial death toll was 20, with 14 dying in the dormitory, but eventually updated to 19 after a child initially reported as dead was rescued by rescuers on May 30th. The girl who had been dead in Georgetown Hospital, the dorm administration's 5-year-old son was one of the victims who died in the dorm. So the lady that was the administration of the dorm, her son also died. 13 of the victims were burnt beyond recognition, so they couldn't recognize their body. Okay, so how do you know that these bodies were these children's bodies? Obviously, there was burnt bodies. Okay. But the bodies were burnt beyond recognition. So the families that, the indigenous people, which I was picking up, thank you, ancestors. The indigenous people that I was picking up could not even identify the bodies. The bodies were burnt past recognition of the bodies. 13 of the victims were burnt beyond recognition, and DNA samples were sent to Mount Sinai Laboratory in New York City. Are you guys following me here? Why is the samples being sent to Mount Sinai Laboratory in New York City with the help of the Barbados to identify the remains? Now, who else's body was autopsy by somebody from Mount Zion and from somebody from Barbados with Barbados background? I don't know if Guyana has a laboratory in their country. He is climbing up here. Stop. Okay, so we're going to put cards on this. So 13 of the victims were burnt beyond recognition, and their DNA samples were sent to Mount Sinai Laboratory in New York City. Okay, so one of the pathologists for Adriana Young, he was from Mount Sinai Hospital with the help of the Barbados to identify the remains, including students were transported to 2 major hospitals in the Guyanese capital, Georgetown. A critical injured 13-year-old girl was flown to New York on May 28th for treatment at Northwell Health Regional Burn Center in Staten Island. He is trying to climb up this. Sorry, you guys. Staten Island University Hospital. By May 30th, she was stable stable condition. Okay, accused. Somebody was accused. According to officials, the fire was caused by a 15-year-old student who was enraged after her mobile phone was confiscated. So why would her mobile phone be confiscated? Okay, the girl allegedly made threats following disciplinary action for her involvement with the older man. Okay, she was involved with an older man. She was having contact with an older man. This is here. Okay, this is evidence. Okay, so she was having contact with a older man. The teenager suspect, who was hospitalized with burn injuries, confessed to the arson. After authorities sought guidance on whether to press charges against her, they eventually received advice to charge her with 9 counts of murder. On May 29th, the girl was charged as an adult with 19 counts of murder. She appeared by video before a court in Georgetown. The court ordered that she be held at a juvenile holding center until further proceedings take place. If she's found guilty, the suspects could be sentenced to life in prison. On July 5th, the charges were amended to 20 counts of murder. The investigation. The firefighter spokesperson indicated that the suspect point of origin was identified as the beginning of the southwestern end of the building during a press conference the day after the fire. After the initial investigation was completed, the scene was to be turned over to the Mandela Police Force for another investigation. Guyana's government accepted offers from the United States to send. Okay, let me slow down real quick. Guyana's government accepted offers from the United States to send forensics and other expert teams to help the investigation. The government sent specialists in DNA identification to help identify the remains of the 13 victims. The investigation found that the building did not have proper water supply that the firefighters could not use. There was inadequates with the firefighters. They didn't have enough. Their equipment wasn't good. Okay. 5 doors were locked. There were equipment. 5 doors were locked, and many of the dormitory windows had metal grills. Police said that the grills were meant to stop the girls from leaving dorms to socialize with minors who flash gold, diamonds, and cash in a set to groom these girls for sexual favors. So this is a mining town, and I was picking up automatically Indigenous, okay? So the miners that worked in this town, they would flash gold, diamonds, and cash in an attempt to groom these girls for sexual favors, okay? So President Ifreen Allah said that this is a major disaster and it's horrible and it's painful, and also declared 3 days of national mourning. So the country mourned for 3 days, okay? These were indigenous, so they were native to the land, okay? So let's get 3 cards on this. Okay, so give me 1 card on this dormitory. Hold on. 1 card on the dormitory where these girls were residing at. Message of concern, 1441. 1 more card on the dormitory. Journey. Journey, message of concern, but why would these girls take a journey? This is bizarre. They shouldn't have took a journey. If they were in a fire. The house. Okay. So the house, this is where the dormitory where they would stay at. There was a message of concern and a journey, movement. So why would there be movement? Give me a clarification card on this journey card. Was this accidental or this was on purpose? Family room. Okay. And that's crossing the journey. Distant horizon. So these girls took a journey to distant horizons. This don't make sense, you guys. Okay, this don't make sense at all. Okay. And then I have sudden wealth. I don't want to pull too many cards on this. Okay, so we got sudden wealth, distant horizon. Okay, distant horizon. So this means you travel, you go distant horizons. So we got 2 traveling cards here. So were these girls, did they travel before? This don't make sense. Okay, let me use the true, and we have family room. So some of the family might know what happened. The girl that caused this is in jail. Let me see if I can get another clarification card on this. Okay. Let me shuffle this. I got, let me shuffle this deck 1 more time. I got something with neighborhood. So neighborhood would be environment that they were in. Okay. And these were indigenous. So that would make sense. Okay. So I also got the devil card. So there's manipulation that was going on. Okay, manipulation. Addiction. Manipulation and addiction on the child, the caregiver. Now this card came from the bottom. So let's see if it come back out. So these girls were traveling. I don't know if that was told, that these girls were traveling. Somebody committed suicide in this place. This all girls home. I don't know if that story ever came out, but somebody did commit suicide. There's money cards here. There's secrets here. Organized crime. So there's some secrets in this home. Some stuff was going on in this home. Okay. Something with the caregivers. Something with organized crime. Somebody committed suicide. There was manipulation with the devil. The devil's always manipulate. This is a manipulation card. Okay. This is also addiction card. There's secrets in this facility these girls were held in. There's secrets. There's money cards here. So they were right. There was money being exchanged for money being exchanged here. What was the money being exchanged for? So somebody did commit suicide in this place. I don't know if this was ever spoken of, but this video is for entertainment purposes. Damn. Alive. Somebody's alive here. Who's alive? Show me who's alive. Okay, I got surveillance. The cult is alive. Okay. What else do I need to see? Drugs. Poison. Somebody wanted revenge. This is why they started the fire. Okay, revenge for whatever was going on in this place. So there's secrets that were held. You guys, these girls were taking journeys somewhere. I don't know where they were taking journeys. Journeys to. They shouldn't have been taking journeys if they were in an all-girls home. Okay. There was exchange of money. The girl that started the fire, they say they would start the fire. She wanted revenge. What did she want revenge for? There was drugs being used here, occults here. What did she want revenge for? If she even started the fire, who knows? Outer space. Oh, these cards are flipping. Okay, it was man-made. This disaster was man-made. I didn't want to pull a lot of cards here. Okay, so we got man-made. So this fire was not started by one individual. Okay, it wasn't natural. Okay, if this was natural when the fire started, it would say natural. It says man-made, man-made disaster. So somebody started this fire to make it look like a fire. Outer space. Very interesting. Organized crime. Secrets. Revenge. Drugs. Poison. Alcohol. Somebody's still alive. Somebody committed this in this home. They never spoke of it. And these were children. There's money being exchanged here. Okay, let's see what else we can get. This video is for entertainment purposes, and this is all bullcrap. Power supply. So did the lights go out? Somebody cleaned up. I didn't want to pull this many cards. I just want to pull 3 cards. That's it. I had accomplice at the bottom. Road. So what I'm getting from this in these cards is this was not natural. This was, somebody started this fire. Okay, and the reason why is there were secrets. Okay, secrets. I don't know who the family is or who they called family. I don't know. Okay, something with the power grid, the power supply. Something with the children, surveillance. Do they have cameras in this place? Something with the caregivers. Something with the family. I don't know who the family is. These money cards are coming out. Okay. One more card on this whole situation. Desert. Fire. So there was definitely a fire, but it was man-made disaster. So somebody made this fire happen. I don't know why desert, and what's that other card? I'm pulling so many cards here. And outer space will come out. This doesn't make sense. Outer space. I don't know what outer space means, you guys. Normally when I see outer space, I'm thinking of something like MK Ultra type stuff. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Strangulation. One more card, because I feel like I'm pulling too many cards. I don't know who they call family. Okay. A gift. I don't know, a gift to who? I have no idea. To this caught. They did try to run away from this place. You guys, there were secrets in this place. And it was not natural. Man-made. So there was money exchange. Somebody committed this in this place. They never told the story. If they would have told the story, the place would have been investigated. There was a fire, of course. We got desert. I don't know who's in the desert. Okay. Camel, desert. I don't know. This could be significant. Caught could be significant. Drugs, poison could be significant. Revenge could be significant. But they were running away. Yes, they were. There were secrets in this place. Organized crime. And there was manipulation. And it happened at the girls' home. Okay. They traveled. I don't know how they traveled or why they would be traveling. If they're in a girl's home, it doesn't make sense to me. And somebody also traveled to them. Okay. Because of this distant horizon. Okay. So this is a lot going on here. Okay. One more card. Somebody faked their death. Somebody's still alive that was there. Fake death. So was these deaths fake? What's crossing the fake death card? This is some crazy-ish neighborhood. So something was going on in this facility, surrounding the facility, which that would make sense with the gold miners missing. But they said they were dead. This is saying missing. Fake death. So I'm confused here. I got fake death. And I got alive. So they couldn't recognize the body. So how do they know these girls actually crossed over? Just saying. Storm, come on. As soon as I get off my live, he stops. There's boat and train. Okay, boats, train, and I think the other card too is boat. Yep. Double confirmation. Boat. Somebody says laser can generate fire. Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's true. I don't believe these girls were burnt. Okay? Because they were taken to distant horizon. There's a boat here. There's a boat. Double confirmation of a boat. Look at this. And these were indigenous girls. And they took a journey. Also, there's by road. So why were they taking journeys? They should have never been taking journeys if they're in a school for girls. They should have been getting an education. Okay? It's a lot of movement. Okay, boats movement. Trainers movement. Double confirmation of boats. Fake death. Something can mean something in their indigenous culture with the lizard. Okay. This would be in their hieroglyphs of this indigenous tribe. Okay, something with lizard. I don't know what this means, okay? Manipulation. They're missing. I don't see no death cards here. Organized crime. Secrets. Revenge. Drugs. Poison. Caught. Desert. Fire. Somebody commit suicide here in this home. Money. The neighbors. So if this was close to Venezuela on indigenous land, people knew. Neighbors, I don't know. Okay. But this was man-made. They were a gift. Some of them did try to run away. They need to look to the caregivers. There was cameras. Train possible. The metal cargo container is being placed. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. The cargo containers. Jesus Lord, I got chills when you just said that, Maria. I got chills. Because if you look at this card, where's that card at? I believe this indigenous community heard stories too. If you look in this card right here, I didn't want to pull too many cards on this. They're still missing. Look. This video is for entertainment purposes, okay? If you look on this boat and the train, you could always move cargo. Okay. Yes. Movement. There was movement. There shouldn't have been movement. Because these are children. They should have been in the school. They shouldn't have been moved to different places. This doesn't make sense. Okay, this is Jennifer Felix readings. Somebody made a lot of money, cha-ching. This is where they would have been staying at. And some of them did try to run away. But there's secrets. There were secrets in this facility. Let me show you. 2 money cards came out. Somebody actually crossed over in the facility. Okay. Took their own life. Yes, there was a fire. Outer space. Some kind of camera system. The caregivers. Look to the caregivers. They did. Some of them did try to run away. A gift. Strangulation. Man-made disaster. Child. Something with the power line. I don't know if the power went out that night. There was a cleanup crew. Alive. You guys, it's saying they're alive and missing. I cannot make this up. And it said man-made disaster. And remember, there was the guy that did the autopsy on Adriana Young. He was from Mount Zion Hospital in New York. Okay. Yeah, Stormy, he's a mess, Sarah. Yes, I'm Tiano. Tiano in and out. Tiano and Monena. Black and Tiano. So there was a cleanup crew, okay? Came to clean up, okay? It's saying they're alive. They're alive. So the girl that got charged for this, where is she at? Because this is saying they're alive. I pulled a lot of damn cards, okay? They were moving, okay? They shouldn't have been moving. Where is the girl at that caused this fire? Okay, they said that she's in jail, okay? Show me where she's at. I feel like I should use the other deck. Mind control. Let me use the other deck. So something with mind control. I don't know if she's being experimented on. I have no idea. Give me one more card on this girl that caused the fire, that they said allegedly caused the fire. This video is for entertainment purposes. This is all bullshit. Poverty. Mind control and poverty. Normally when I see the mind control, I think of MK Ultra. But outer space, it could have been something that hit that place that was not... It wasn't man-made. So something hit that place. Remember in Hawaii when those fires started? Whatever hit those places in Hawaii hit Guyana in some kind of capacity, okay? So that would make sense with the outer space. But the mind control is like somebody messing with your mind, okay? Yes, laser. So mind control also can be like... Give me a clarification card for this mind control and this poverty. See, they know who they pick people that are in poverty. This shit always comes out. So is this girl in a mental hospital? Yes, laser is man-made. Is this girl in a mental hospital? Mountains. Why would this girl be in the mountains? So we got mind control, poverty. These girls were indigenous girls. And we got mountains. Yes, trafficking. Let me pull one more from my deck here. If we get the trafficking, we already know. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Here's Stormy. All right, a lot of these cards are in the other position. Let's turn this around. Hold on, you guys. I got to turn these cards around. Okay. So I asked where this girl was that started this fire. I got mind control, and I got mountains, and I got poverty. Hold on, that's too many cards. Hold on. I'm getting too many cards. I don't need that many cards. Family. Who is family? 17-7. Kidnap. They're angels. And I can't say this. And I can't. And the ancestors are here. And this is happening in their community. Did you guys just see my camera go in and out? Let's get one more on them. So they were kidnapped. They were kidnapped before the fire started. Girl. Girl. So they were kidnapped way before the fire started. And they were taken different places. So this is trafficking, if you think about it. Shit. So whose bodies were they identifying on Mount Zion Hospital? Okay, I got portals. So we know the poison that they were using was from this plant. Okay, this plant is devil's breath. One more card. So these girls are missing. There's a grandmom here. There's a circle around me. You guys, I didn't think I was going to get this, okay? Damn, this happened in Hawaii, okay? This same thing happened in Hawaii, okay? Remember when certain areas were hit by lasers for entertainment purposes in Hawaii and children went missing, remember, by boat? Go back to my readings on that. They had faith and cover up. You guys, whoo, baby. I didn't think I was going to get this, but oh, shoot. I kept hearing Lord have mercy. Okay. But this was a cover-up. I pulled a lot of cards, but they had to tell me a story. Okay. So they were being transported. Okay. I seen the same thing in Hawaii. When all those children were missing. Remember I said they went by boats. Okay. These girls had a lot of faith. The grandmom's here. Portals. I don't know what portals have to do with this. Yes, they had to separate them. That's what happened in Hawaii. They separated them. I seen a whole bunch of bunnies. I'm like, why am I seeing bunnies? Okay. Go back to my reading I did on the Hawaiian kids. And I kept seeing bunnies. I'm like, why am I seeing bunnies? Like, what the hell? They separate the kids from their families in Hawaii, took them to the islands, Easter Island. I know they took them to the islands because I've seen islands with bunnies. Okay, and I've seen bunnies. And bunnies mean something to the family. Okay. But these girls were not taken to Mount Zion. So did they say that they were taken to Mount Zion and they were kidnapped? Guyana. This is happening all around the world. Communities are being destroyed. The ancestors know. Okay. Families. The angels are here and the ancestors. So they were separated. Some were taken by boat and some were taken by train. Okay. This is affecting families. They lost children. These angels are here. Okay. No, nothing will be done. This happened in 2023. I mean, the only thing that could happen is they reopen the case after Adriana Young's death. But, I mean, there's nothing else. They have to have proof. I'm just a psychic. Okay? They have to have tangible evidence. Okay? These children could be anywhere. Okay? I don't know. The same thing happened in, it's rampant. Yes, it is. It's rampant. That's why you got to guard your children, protect your children at all costs. I was hoping that I wasn't getting this. But I kept hearing Lord have mercy. When I hear Lord have mercy, I already know it's not going to be good. That's why I got the holy water out, okay? Lord have mercy is a prayer. They say, Kerieso, Lord have mercy. I hear it all the time. It's a prayer. So I don't feel like we'll get closure. Let's pull a card. Will we get closure for this? I don't think so, you guys. Will there be closure? Unless they reopen the case of that fire. High honor. The house. Sudden wealth. Somebody made money. Family. Whoever they consider their family or they call family. I don't know. Distant horizons. An end, a beginning to something new. Child card, double confirmation. False children. I'm not getting no justice cards here. Okay. I don't know if they're going to reopen this case. I don't know. These people were indigenous people. I'm seeing this place. I don't even know where this place is, but I'm seeing it psychically by close to Venezuela. Okay. Because I'm seeing the Venezuelan flag. Okay. So it's close by. Okay. I don't know if these miners are white. I don't know if they're indigenous. I don't know what these miners are. No, nothing's going to be done on the physical. But in the spiritual, yes. But not in the physical. Okay. Wow. I pulled a lot of cards. And it said they're alive. They go after people in poverty. Guys, I'm telling you. This happened in Hawaii. Theft. I just split the deck. I'm not doing no Houdini trick over here. Okay. Ooh, and I pray to God that I'm wrong. I pulled a lot of cards. So it just told me a story that these girls is, look, unsolved. It's going to be unsolved. Just like Hawaii. They never found those children that went missing in Hawaii. So the answer we got is unsolved. It's going to be unsolved. Okay, unsolved. Now, can we get a location? I got Hiller. Hiller. Somebody wants to read this late. I'm not doing no more reads. So there's trickster energy around this whole case. And I find it interesting that they go to the same hospital as the pathologist. This came out twice. The same pathologist, okay, the same hospital that the pathologist came from Adriana Young's case is the same hospital with pathologist. So anytime something happens in Guyana, what are they calling the pathologist from Mount Zion Hospital? So we're in the year 2025. So was the pathologist that, if anybody can get a hold of these records, was the pathologist the same pathologist that came out of Mount Zion Hospital, that black guy, the light-skinned guy? Was he the same pathologist that signed off on the report of these girls? Because if his signature is the same signature saying that they got the body, knowing they didn't get the bodies, they were already transported, then this needs to be reopened and relooked at. Okay, if it's the same pathologist at Mount Zion Hospital that signed off on these girls' death certificates for entertainment purposes, then this case needs to be reopened. Okay, but it's saying it's going to be unsolved. Okay, let me pull a card on the pathologist. Tell me more about the pathologist at Mount Zion Hospital. The pathologist at Mount Zion Hospital. I feel like I need to use the other death. Death. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying death. The other deck. What the hell? So I got coffin. So he deals with death. So I wonder if he's the same pathologist that signed off on Adriana Young's. The pathologist from Mount Zion. Yes, Mount Zion Hospital in New York. Mount Zion Hospital, not Mount Zion. Sorry, I'm saying Mount Zion. Mount Zion. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. 13 of the victims were burnt beyond recognition. They couldn't recognize the bodies. They were burnt. They weren't burnt. They weren't there. Okay. The DNA samples were sent to Mount Sinai, SINAI laboratory in New York City, with the help of the Barbados to identify the remains. Okay. Remember with Adriana Young, there was a pathologist that came from Mount Zion, and Mount Zion, SINAI laboratories in New York, that came over there from New York City to do a pathology on Adriana Young's body. So I hope her body's not going to the same hospital. Okay. With the help of the Barbados to identify the remains. Okay. Now, what does the family have to, the indigenous people? Because I was getting indigenous. So the president at the time was the same president that's there now. Okay. That's in office now. Same guy. Guys. Whew, Guyana got a lot going on. They need to get this man out of office. So, okay, so on May 22nd, 50 relatives and friends of the victims demonstrated in Chapo, a village that is close to Mandan. The criticism of the dormitory windows and demand justice and compensation. Did they get compensation? Oh, here's a picture of it. Oh, man. Okay, in this town where this happened at, the it's centered around the area of gold and diamond mining. So give me a card on the diamond and gold mining operations. As such as it affects by the economy booms and busts and attracts immigrants, both local and foreign, to obtain wealth through mining. Hold up. So it attracts immigrants, both local and foreign, to obtain wealth through mining. So what is this, like a rogue mining operation? Which normally diamond and gold operations are not rogue. Okay. Um, um, I'm not feeling like the family's got money. I don't feel like they got anything. Okay. Now, I'm picking up a tribe. This is very interesting. Okay. I know in Venezuela, I think, are they Incas? Let me see. What is the what native tribe is in Guyana? Does anybody know the native tribe? I saw an article recently that they were no longer allowing others to come into mine. They shouldn't, because I mean, it's like the Wild Wild West. Okay. No, I'm not saying Mount Zion. I'm saying Mount Zion in New York City, because it's one of the biggest hospitals in New York City. Mount Zion Hospital, where that pathologist came from for Adriana Young. So he came from the same. That pathologist came. Uh, uh, not podiatrist. The guy that came to do the autopsy. Yes, on Adriana Young. It's the same. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is he the same guy? It has to be. You guys, this is a cover up like no tomorrow cover up. So you got Adriana Young here. You got a whole bunch of girls here. Lord have mercy. Kedieso. I'm speaking Egyptian, Arabic. Kedieso, Kedieso. Okay. It's a prayer. Lord have mercy. Okay. I keep hearing that. Okay. When I hear that, it's not a good sign. Okay. I don't know what indigenous tribe is in. Let me see. Does anybody know what indigenous tribe is in Guyana? Oh, indigenous people of Guyana. Thank you, ancestors. Okay, so are these Arawaks? Okay, so they're Caribs. There's Caribs there. There's Kangpogo. There's Akawa. So I wonder if the Akawa were the Arawaks. Because the Arawaks and the Caribs, they're all from where my dad's tribes are from. Yes, there's several tribes in Guyana. So I'm wondering if these two tribes, the Caribs and the air, yes, Airwalk. Okay, the Airwalk is also from my father's tribe. Because I'm Taino, but we have Taino, we have Airwalk, and we have Caribs. So they traveled everywhere in South America. Okay. Then they have other tribes, Compango. I don't even know how to say this other tribe. Okay. So they would still speak the language of the tribes that were in the Caribbean. Okay. This is a picture of them. Beautiful people. Oh my God. The girls are beautiful. They're gorgeous. Oh my God. And they wear the same headdresses. They're beautiful. So the pathologist, Dr. Shabahakri, Paul, yes, beautiful, yes. So the same pathologist that came in to do Adriana Young's pathology report works at that same hospital. Lord have mercy. Okay, and he lied on her pathology report because Adriana didn't die naturally of natural causes. So these girls were already moved around before this fire happened. So whose body did they do a DNA test on? That's why they couldn't recognize the bodies, because they weren't their bodies. So what, did they dig up some dead bodies? I'm just saying. This is for entertainment purposes. These are beautiful. They have the same tribal headdress too. It's my father's tribe. Wow. Beautiful people. All right, this is a read that I got, you guys. Oh, Lord. So the Guyanese school is educating indigenous children. We've seen this everywhere. When indigenous children are being educated, we see this in Canada, where there was graves and graves of indigenous children. Okay. Um, Dr. Paul was hired by the government of Guyana. Yes, he was. While Dr. Collins was chosen by the family and the lawyer. I think the guy from that did the autopsy from New York is that Dr. Collins? Collins? Um or Dr. Paul? Yes, Dr. Paul. So Dr. Paul was hired by the government. That would make sense. Damn, you guys. I would be surprised and shocked if he signed the death certificates of these indigenous people. Oh, it was in the article? Shit. I'm way over my head, you guys. I'm about to end this. But my people, they're my people. Shit. The Arawaks are my people. The Caribs are my people. The Taino are my people. All indigenous people are my people. Um, all people are my people. But this is my father's ancestral tribes. I'm like, I can't right now. I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. It's 12:22. So they did not die in that fire. So they dug up bodies. Let me pull a card on this, and then I'm gonna get off of this live, you guys. 12:22 exactly. Did they dig up bodies, like dead bodies from graves? Remember when I said in my video earlier that there's something with illegal coffins or coffins being moved? Oh, gosh, the ancestors are saying love. Shit. Okay, I just forgot what question I asked. This is too much for me. What question did I just ask you guys? This is too much. Jennifer, you're beautiful. Yes, this happened in Canada with the Indigenous people. Suffered a lot. Many of them didn't get justice. No. Oh, Dr. Collins was okay. Whew. My mind just went like, you guys, I just can't. Okay, I can't. I cannot. I can't. I can't get a read on children that is just a natural death, okay? Or something happy, okay? But my ancestors are behind me. They're in front of me. They're beside me. They give me strength to continue, okay? In my faith. Okay, run away. I asked for the pathologist. Was somebody run away from him? Caregiver. And money. So he got money for this. So was he caring for these kids in some kind of capacity? I don't know. All I know is this man got money. Maybe he's running away. He don't want to be attached to the situation. I have no idea. But caregiver would make sense because he's a pathologist. Okay. But he got money. I asked for his energy. So he doesn't want nothing to do with this. You guys, I got chills down my spine. You guys, they need to change laws with children because I can't. A lot of my reads are missing children, and if it wasn't for my ancestors, and my faith, I don't know how I would get through these videos. Okay, honestly, they give me strength to see another day. They give me strength to be here to speak for them. Okay, this is a lot. Okay, so this will make sense because caregiver came out with the caregivers at the facility where these girls were staying at. Okay, so this would make sense. Runaway came out with the same girls, and money. Okay, there was money exchange. These girls are alive, but they're missing. So I asked about the pathologist. So what bodies did they get? I'm getting like they dug bodies out of graves. And staged it. Okay? Or they never even sent the bodies over. I don't know. Okay? I'm not going to go too more deeper in this. This video is for entertainment purposes, but how we would know the truth is that somebody would get the reports of their deaths because their deaths only happened in 2023. So somebody signed the death certificates of these girls. Okay? And the president that's in office in Guyana is the same president when this occurred. Okay? So what the hell is going on in Guyana? This happened in Hawaii where those kids disappeared and they were taken by boat. Okay? Yes, and taking Adriana is the same pathologist that did the that did the pathology report on Adriana. So you got these girls in this home, okay, and then you got, let me show their faces. Let me see if I can find their faces. I will put their faces on my community page. This is some deep-ish. But they are family. Okay, they're family. They're descendants of my tribe. Okay. I did not know that, you guys. I did not know that. I didn't read nothing up on it. I try not to read nothing up on it so I can just pull the energy. Okay. But damn. Okay. Damn, damn, damn. Okay. Um, I want to know the president of Guyana. Give me one card on the president of Guyana. I pray they get justice. I got chills. Yes, I got chills too. Shit. Damn, somebody, my phone keeps moving. Okay, so I want the energy on the current president of Guyana. So who signed those death certificates? Message. So we got message with official seal on it. Okay, what's crossing the message card? I will put the pathologist picture up, that same pathologist that did signed off on Adriana's death, that her death was a drowning. And then I will he's the same pathologist from Mount Zion Hospital in New York City. It's a big hospital, okay? So I asked about the president. So this is presidential, okay? So he sent a message, because you see the presidential seal. Give me one more card on this man. And he made a phone call with the phone. So there is evidence. Okay, this would be like paper evidence or on the phone evidence. Give me one more card. Somebody says my son's autopsy was a lie. He was unalive and they covered it up. The railway, they passed on, they will pay. Yeah, they will pay. Okay, so this card keeps wanting to come out, so I have to say it. So false documentations of their death, justification. Okay, so there's false documentations signed. What the hell? Officers were involved. This is on the president. Official officer. He's official officer. Guyana. This is for entertainment purposes. And he knew about these journeys. Shit. I'm way over my head, you guys. Now, how we would know that, if we can get a copy, which I don't know if we can, of who signed the pathology report or any kind of reports on these indigenous children, I bet you any kind of money it was the same pathologist that did the autopsy on Adriana Young. Okay, if you're in Guyana or if you're anywhere, you need to protect your children at all costs. Okay, I didn't know if I was going to get this, but it's going to be unsolved, so this will never be solved. Okay. But the ancestors know, because they have a circle around me. And I did not know that indigenous tribe is also my indigenous tribe, which, if you think about it, my all indigenous tribes were all connected in some way, okay? But damn, I was shocked to see Arawak and Caribs. Okay, they're in South America, okay? They traveled. This is deep, okay, you guys? Thank you guys for joining me. I was on here for a very long time. I pulled a lot of cards. It's going to go unsolved, okay? But we know the truth, okay? And this video is for entertainment purposes. All right, you guys, this is Jennifer Felix. Thank you guys for joining me. Ooh, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I had to do the read because this will mark the anniversary of there are 2 years that they have been missing because they're not dead. There was no death cards that came out my read. Okay, it was the cards that came out of my read was alive. Okay, well, yeah, there was a death card. There was what's name card, an M card. So there was some kids didn't make it. Okay, I'm just saying this is some ish right here. Okay, yes, I got the chills too. Thank you, honeybee. But it's gonna go unsolved. This reminds me of Hawaii. This reminds me of Canada with all these indigenous people. Indigenous people need to stick up, stand up. Everybody needs to stand up. This shit needs to end. Okay. They need to have punishment, death penalty. Okay. And it's the same president that's in office now in Guyana. I mean, this is crazy. Okay. And it's the same hospital. And then didn't one of the guys come from Barbados too? I'm just saying. So I will put the doctors, all the pathologists that sign off on Adriana's death certificate saying she drowned allegedly for entertainment purposes, which she didn't drown. She was murdered. They need to be charged. This is federal. Okay. Now they need to go back and open up the case of these young indigenous children. Okay. If any indigenous person watches my channel, you need to reach out to indigenous tribe. Okay. This is deep. Okay. I don't know if they got paid off. I don't know. I know indigenous. I know people are not gonna like take money, bribes. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to keep going into this energy. I want to get out of this energy. Shit. Okay. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, you guys. I did not think I was going to get this, but I kept hearing before I started this, Lord have mercy. And then I had a call for a circle of my ancestors to put a circle around me. Okay. And their ancestors, all of them, to come forward and put circles around me. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Jennifer Felix reading. I will put the children's picture on my community board and their picture on and God rest. Well, they're not gone, so well, some are. So some are and some are not. Okay, that's what I got from here, and they were moving. Okay, travel. Okay, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Okay, I'm just saying. This is Jennifer Felix reading. Thank you guys for joining me. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, ancestors. Bye.